Howdy, Dr. Kim.
Hey Colby, how are you today? Another
I
Friday.
am doing well. It's a good Friday
Can
for
you
us.
believe it's Memorial Day weekend? It's
I didn't
seriously. I mean,
up on me.
it's kind of like when all this junk that started in March. It's like I don't know. It's been like it's to me. It's been like a long March, because nothing was changed or different, and now it's Memorial Day. It's crazy.
I was like, "What are y'all doing this weekend?" They're like, "Oh, we're gonna be. It's Memorial Day. We're taking 3 days off. We're doing something with family." Oh, maybe I should do the same thing because I totally forgot all about it.
That it's Memorial Day, yeah, which means summer is officially here. In my book, I mean, it's just like Memorial Day is kind of the kickoff, and which is exciting. I love summer.
It is. I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for just ready for everything to happen.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
to
yeah.
happen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Today we're talking a little bit about faith and what it's like to have to take a big leap of faith. You and I have both done certain things like that. I know my wife and I are walking through that, and one of the for us the biggest challenge has been the trusting of God in those leaps of faith. And there's moments that are absolutely scary. And I think of it's a popular verse, and you've heard it before, but where Peter walks on water and Jesus, he's the only one that does it after he gets out of the boat, walks on water, but then he starts getting afraid of the waves, the storms start to sink, and then Jesus takes his hand, pulls him up, and says, "Oh, you of little faith, why didn't you trust me?" And that's where I'm at with a lot of our things when it comes to steps of faith. Is like, God, do I trust you enough to take this step of faith? It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It could be very scary, but I know there's some people listening today that are in that process of like, okay, do I jump? Do I not? And what is God asking you? Is He asking some of you that are listening today to take that leap of faith?
Yeah, I think, and sometimes I think it's that okay. Maybe we question, is God really asking us to do that? Because if I really know, I mean, if God has opened doors, He has not closed doors, and I kind of like to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go this far, and I'm gonna see if anything happens that shows a red flag or something. And if it keeps opening doors, then He's going to follow through with it. God doesn't take us out somewhere and just hang us over a cliff and say, "I'm not sure I'm going to drop you. I'm going to drop you at some time." No, He fulfills the destination, and I think He also gives us choices within that, in going that way, And so, when we started awesome marriage, it was, it was me and a couple guys that were helping consult and doing all the technical stuff. And it was like days. It was like, oh my gosh, why are we doing this?
What are we doing?
But I had to go back each time and say, I know God called me to do it. It was clear. My pastor, Craig Rochelle, wrote a book called Kazone. And when it first came out back in 07 or something like that, I read it and it was clear that's what God wanted me to do. And so then about 3 years later, the opportunity came. And so I knew it was there, but there were times that were really hard. And there were times when I knew we needed somebody else on the team and I didn't know how we're going to make that happen. And so I get that process, and it's sometimes saying, okay, it is total faith. It's like, God, you put me here and I'm trusting you to do that. And He did. I don't know why. I don't know why He doesn't just kind of give us a roadmap and say,
It would be
okay,
great if He did.
you're going to have a bump here, but that's okay because I'm taking you here and I'm taking you here and I'm taking you here. But I think He also, I think God likes to show us that how faithful He is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we start questioning and stuff, and then He comes through, it's like, oh yeah, you are. I always go back to the Israelites in the desert, and for 40 years, and how many times God would show up, and how many times He would provide, and then all of a sudden they'd start grumbling, and they'd make a calf out of gold, and it's like, wow. I used to read that and think, why in the world would you? How could you do that? And then it's like, I'm not making a golden calf, but I'm bailing or doing something else.
Yeah. Well, I feel the same way about that story because I read that and say, what is wrong with those people? God has done all these things for them. How could they not trust and believe in God? And then I find ourselves in situations like we are even today, where we're like, I saw you do something last month or last week, but I don't, it was great. Thank you, God. But man, this is where I'm at now, and it's hard. And I don't know if I'm humble because I'm just like the Israelites in that aspect of things. I see you do great things, amazing things. But I don't think you're going to do them again this time. And there is a big faith is a hard thing to do, but it's so important. And trusting God and jumping on that and doing that has been one of the greatest adventures and greatest things we've ever done. So some of you out there who are listening and saying, hey, you guys it's time for you to take that jump and do it. We're encouraging you to say, hey, if you're listening, you feel like everything's indicating this is the time to do it, take that leap of faith and don't be afraid because God is going to move and work. We promise you.
I don't think you'll ever regret taking that leap, and I think there's a good chance you'll regret not doing it.
Yeah,
If I hadn't taken the jump for awesome marriage, I think I'd been questioning myself all the time since then, because I know that that's what God wanted me to do. And so it's just taking that step and trusting him. And so yeah, I agree. Encouraging anybody watching this today, whatever it is, if God's leading you to do it, take a step. Say, okay, God,
yep,
I'm doing it. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know anything about what I'm doing, but I'm going to take it. And
absolutely.
he's going to meet you there.
And you won't regret it. I promise you. He'll,
No,
he'll
not at
test
all.
you and grow you more than you ever could think and imagine. So,
Yep, absolutely.
man, it's been fun. I hope that I look forward to stories. Hopefully, somebody gets a chance to share with us a little bit about
I
what
would
God.
love for that. Yeah, tell us. We'd love to hear your stories and what God did and how He brought you through some things. And hey, we recorded Monday. You and I were together actually in the same place doing
Yep.
a Better Man podcast, and we have one that came out for May that was on Zoom because we were quarantined at that time. Our state hadn't lifted some things at that time, and it's a good one. It's on porn, and so that's available on iTunes and it's available on YouTube. Just click search Better Man Podcast on either place, and you can see what we had to say about that. It was interesting, though. We were talking this week. It's nice to be face to face in the same place doing that as opposed to doing something like that on Zoom. So, but it's a great topic. I think you'll enjoy it, and it leads in a lot we'll talk about later and tell you what we did for June. So that'll be coming up.
That's right. Check it out. We hope that you guys enjoy it. Give us feedback, all that stuff. There's even ways that you guys can respond on there. So looking forward to it. Dr. Kim, it's been a blast.
Yeah, always is.
Don't be an okay man.
Be a better man.
We'll see you later.
See you later, guys.